Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for checking this video out. I wanted to talk to you about confidence. And I know that the best way to connect with you is through video and for me to really just be able to open up my heart. So I'm human. I don't know if you noticed. And as a human, we all have our own flaws and liabilities and setbacks and things that we can continue to improve on. So to know this, to know that we're flawed, doesn't mean that we should give up on life and say that we're never going to get better and continue to victimize ourselves. We have to take personal responsibility when we realize what's going on and make a change. So personally, at the beginning of this month, I set some really big goals for myself. Goals that kind of sort of terrify me in a good way, right? Because I'm choosing to push myself out of my comfort zone. And in the last 5 or 6 months that I have been working full-time from home, I've achieved some really, really awesome milestones with my business, with my life, with my income, with my team, and that's really exciting. So now it's time for me to reevaluate my goals and to continue pushing. So at the beginning of this month, I set these goals, and then I disappeared for 2 weeks almost. And I know this is the time of year when we all get super busy, and last week was my birthday as well. So I know there's a lot going on, but to me, that's not an excuse. That's not a reason for me to have fallen off my personal track. And honestly, I realized this. I realized every time that I set a big goal or that I challenge myself in a new way, I totally go MIA, and literally, and I just don't do stuff. It's like I pretend like it's not there. I pretend like if I don't see it, it can't see me, right? Ever done that? Like as a child, when they play peekaboo, it's like if they can't see you, it's like you're not there. And I've realized that's sometimes what I do. And so I realized that I need to start working on myself again, personal development. So I do personal development every single day. It's part of my business. It's part of what I have come to learn to love and really treasure, is continuing to grow and learn. And for the last couple months, my development has focused more on business, more on how can I help my clients better? How can I help people achieve their goals? How can I help others? Which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. My business is about helping people. But I realized in that same thing, I was losing myself. I was losing my personal confidence. I was losing my personal motivation. And I just was so confused. I was like, why? Right? So I realized, okay, I really need to start doing more personal self-development along with business. I'm still doing business development as well, but I decided I needed to do a new set of personal development. So I chose to start reading. It's called You Are a Badass, and it's an amazing book. So if you have an iPhone, I'm sure there's this also for Android users, but I don't know Android. So if you are an iPhone user, there is an app called Audible, something like that. iBooks. And in there, you can search for any books, and you can either get audiobooks that you can listen to while you're driving or cooking or cleaning, or you can get actual books that you can read on your phone. So I've usually been more of a book person, a solid book. But I realized that in the last couple years, even though I say that, I haven't actually read a paper book like that in maybe over a year. I listen to most of my stuff, but I decided to check out You Are a Badass in the book version on my phone. So like a digital book, right? Like people have Kindles and all that stuff. So I checked it out last night. There's a sample in there. Most samples are usually 30 pages. I don't know about you guys, but that's a really, really good sample of a book. That's a really good chunk, enough for you to see the author's style of writing and see if you connect with them. And holy cow, guys, on the first 2 pages, I was already crying. And I'm not saying you have to cry for it to work. That's who I am. And I'm extra emotional right now. But it meant for me that it worked, that there was so much truth in that I was seeing in my life. So I realized that the reason I do that I go MIA, is because I never really learned about confrontation growing up. It's something I've always avoided at all costs. I am not a fight starter. I am like the worst person to want to let someone down. And for those of you who know gems, I was a pearl for a very, very long time, or I hid in pearlness for a very, very long time, because I was afraid of confrontation. And not saying like fighting wise, but anything. Like I was afraid to confront something. I was afraid to stick up for myself. I mean, I would do it for others, but like there was so much that I was not doing for me. So in this book, in these first few pages, I was learning about this. And she said the most fabulous thing, you know, because the thing is, our environment as children, we can't change that. We can't change what family we're born into. We can't change what environment we're raised in. And we can't change our parents' teaching or our family, whoever we are raised by. And, you know, she says, you know, she's awesome. She's so like raw, and I love it. She talks about, you know, like we're all a little bit crazy. We all have our own little things that we can work on, like I said in the beginning. And she said, you know, it's not your fault that you are this way, right? Because we don't choose how we grow up. We don't choose what our parents or teachers teach us. We don't choose our environment, but it is our fault if we stay there. And that to me was like a smack in the face, because we all, like I said, we all have issues and flaws, and we can always blame our parents. We can blame our teachers. We can blame our environment. We can blame growing up in the hood. We can blame being too sheltered, whatever it is, we can blame that. And the thing is, it's not your fault for being in that situation, but it's your fault if you continue to stay there for the rest of your life. Because you as an adult, you have the choice, you have the ability, you have the resources to change that. And I am finally taking that extra step to change that. And I'm taking personal responsibility of where I am, not where I came from. That's not up to me. I'm so grateful for the things that I've gone through in my life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's made me who I am. And now I'm taking personal responsibility to break that shell, break that mold, and really make a change in my own life and set my life, set my environment. And that's up to me. So I know this video got a little longer than I was expecting, but if you've been feeling like in a slump, like in a weird, I don't know what's going on, I'm doing all the right things and nothing is working, because that was me. I was doing everything right on paper, but I was missing heart. I was missing that connection that I had felt before. So I know what that feels like. And I felt like these last couple weeks to maybe about a month, I'd been missing that. And I am so grateful that I am surrounded by a community of like-minded people, by a community of people who push me and encourage me and tell me that I can do more. And it's nice to hear that, you know, but it's not until you believe it in your heart that you feel it. And I'm starting to feel that again. And it's only been one night. Like, I've only read the sample part of the book. I just bought it right now. I haven't gotten to the rest of the pages, but this is where I am. I'm working on this book, reading it, and I'm growing and I'm learning. I'm taking personal responsibility. And like I said, if you've been feeling this way, I highly, highly, highly suggest for you to get this book. I make nothing off the book. I make nothing off of if you get it or not, or you read it or not, other than me being able to share what I have found. And that's what I want. That's what I want as a coach, is for me to share what I've done the hard way or learned the hard way and make it easier for you. So I highly suggest you getting this book. If you have questions about it, let me know. If you want to read it together, if you want to have some kind of accountability on just reading the book, let me know. I'm so open to accountability and people in my life keeping me on track, and me obviously being able to help others as well. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Merry early Christmas to those who celebrate Christmas. We are right in the midst of all the holidays, and New Year's is coming, so this is the best possible time for you to work on yourself, to grow, to learn, and to really just to get ready to make 2016 the best year ever, because it will be. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye.